let's look at a typical research journey for a PhD student. So I will give example with my own journey, how I started and how I conducted the part of the literature. So usually it's typically 3 years or 4 years in the university that I attended. And you have to give some kind of proposal so that the supervisor will know this is the research area that you want. He will see the way you write, and he will see that these are the type of relevant literatures that you've kind of identified before you even start. So you have a rough idea. That idea might not be what you're going to continue with. It might change completely based on the information that you gather. But for the first 6 months, I was reading articles, trying to find research gap, because that's the first thing that they put you through to do, read. But sometimes the more you read, the more you get confused. So it took me about 6 months. I will read, I will think that I found my research gap, but then I'll find out that someone else have already done that, and then I'll move to the next, and so on and so forth. But I do understand that there's a technique to identifying research gap or knowing the literature that you need to add to your research. So it all boils down to your research question. What do you want to solve? What is the problem? What's the issue? So if you know your issue, you can break it down into different parts. So for example, taking my own topic, I didn't know that I'm going to develop a framework for understanding. I just knew that I want to do something related to BIM. I want to do something related to architecture, something related to construction industry. And that is where I focused my literature. So I start with previous theses that were done in that area and checked how did they conduct their research, what were the key things, and what were the key research that they were looking at. I looked at publications. I looked at review articles, which is very good, because if you look at a review article, the author have already gone through a lot of literature and fixed that. So that's what I did. Each literature, I created a table. This is what the guy did. This is the gap, and this is the solution. And these are probably the literature that you come across. So the more you read, the more you kind of see a pattern that certain type of literature within your field has been referenced a lot, and then the credibility as well. So because I did my MSc in related field, it wasn't that difficult for me to kind of know, yeah, this is credible, this is not credible, and so on and so forth. So once I got that, I already know that out of, let's say, 108 systematic literature review that I did, this is the gap. And these are the people that have done something similar to mine in a different context, and so on and so forth. And with that, you can easily distill which information you're going to keep and which information you're not going to keep. So that's how I went about my own process.